Hi, my name is Tara, and today I will be discussing multicultural education. What is multicultural education? According to our textbook, multicultural education is a construct in which students' cultures are integrated into the curriculum, instruction, and classroom and school environment. In order to better understand multicultural education, we must understand culture. What is culture? Culture is what defines who we are. It is generally accepted or pattern ways of behavior that we deem necessary in our group of people that we live in. It also creates an order and meaning to our experiences. Where do we learn our culture? Well, our culture is learned from those closest to us, our parents, family, friends, sometimes even those who are closest to us in our neighborhood impact our culture. Culture impacts how we dress, what we eat, how we speak our dialect and our language, what we think, our views of our world around us. In multicultural education, it is important that we know that all children cannot be taught the same because they are not the same. There are various factors into the differences in children of different cultures. Their cultures and experiences influence the different ways they learn and interact with their friends and their peers. They also have different needs, skills, and experiences that we as educators must recognize in order to meet the development of educational programs. So, in order for us to build our educational programs, we must recognize and acknowledge those different needs based on the different needs and skills and experiences based on their cultures. Here are a few multicultural differences, such as physical and mental abilities, gender, ethnicity, race, social economic status, their religion, language, sexual orientation, where are they from, their geography, as well as their age. Fundamental beliefs of multicultural education. A few of these stuck out prominent to me were cultural differences have strength and value. They do, because if you look at your own culture, you know that they have a strength and they have some type of value towards you, as well as your students will feel the same as about their cultures. Schools should be models for the expression of human rights and respect for cultural and group differences. And I highlighted this one because it did struck a nerve with me. It made me think about that because I was like, why would schools need to be a model? And it made me go back and do a little research on what was the first few public places that were becoming integrated in our history, and schools were the most prominent ones that were being integrated as far as mixing one culture with a different culture. And I would see why, because they wanted schools to be models for the expression of human rights and respectful cultural differences from every different type of walk of life. Um, and that's why that one stuck out to me. Your attitudes and values necessary for participation in democratic society should be promoted in schools. And it's funny that my teachers used to tell us that all the time, that your school is what's getting you ready for society. And that also stuck out to me. Here are a few key components in multicultural education that appear in courses: ethnic studies, global studies, bilingual education, women's studies, human relations, special education, as well as urban education. Here are a few multicultural education statistics. In the near future, students of color are projected to account for 55% of the elementary and secondary public school populations by 2023. Students of color also already account for over half of the student population in western and southern states, and we also see that here in the state of Arkansas. More than 40% of the public school students in western states are Hispanic. I lived in a western state before, and I can attest to that. 10% are Asian American and Pacific Islanders, and nearly 25% of the public school students in southern states are African American, and we also see that in the region where we live, which is the Mississippi Arkansas Delta, we see that it's more prominent that we have more African American students in this area, in this region, because it comes from a deep root of African American people and African American culture. Here are a few other attributes to multicultural education. Diverse religious beliefs contribute to many of the challenges in education because schools have to remember to make accommodations for holidays, religious codes related to curriculum, school lunches. What are the children eating? Because some children of different cultures don't eat American food. Interactions between the opposite sex. How are boys and the girls interacting with one another, and student attire associated with various religions, meaning what are the students wearing? Are they allowed to wear their religious attire to school? When teaching students who come from different cultures than those of the teacher, it is important that the development of dispositions and values, attitudes, and commitments are supportive of diversity and differences. It's very important that they are supportive of the diversity and differences within each student. Students respond better in a classroom where the educator respects their cultures, believes that their students can learn and value their differences. That is so key because you want to make a classroom that is comfortable for all students of different cultures and different backgrounds. In conclusion, there are a lot of factors to consider in a multicultural classroom, and it is our responsibility as the educator to make each student from every walk of life feel comfortable in their learning setting. Our students respond better when they feel that they are in a classroom that accepts their various cultures and believes that they are capable of learning. Although they come from different walks of life, they have different cultures, different backgrounds. Multicultural education is the cornerstone for building a diverse and equal educational system in our community. It can be the cornerstone for what our community should look like, as well as how we respect and how we respond to those who are of different cultures. It is the blueprint of how social justice and equality should be in our society. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.